Hello everyone, age 1 to 92, and welcome to the Edge Over Edge Halloween Special. I'm your host this evening, Alan Bartee, where we flip the coin, will it be trick or treat? This episode will be filled with the most horror beyond anyone's imagination. We have movie reviews, trivia, vox pops, and the most horrible of all, TikTok videos. So sit back, relax, and let the tricks, the treats, begin.
Thanks, Alan. My name is LaBrea, aka Tender Heart Bear, and welcome to Shiver Spines in Social Times. With Halloween creeping around the corner, everyone is talking about what they're gonna be, what they're gonna do, and most importantly, what sweet treats they're gonna eat. Today we'll look at some different TikToks that answer all those questions. Let's jump into our first TikTok and maybe get some costume inspiration. With rising popularity of the hit show Squid Games that came out last month and the new ranking of #1 show watched on Netflix, I'm sure we'll be seeing some more of these costumes. I love this TikTok because it shows the DIY element of Halloween, which I personally love. No need to spend big bucks on a costume when you can make it yourself. The idea of wearing a pumpkin head on your head is the perfect way for a family to take cute Halloween photos or even just bond over their silly matching look. I love this video because it shows my favorite part of Halloween, which is really just dressing up and having a good time with friends and family. Plus, then you have a multi-use for when you carve pumpkins, and it gives you a family fun activity. Obviously, you're gonna need somewhere to go in your costumes. When I return, we'll check out some fun things to do on Halloween.
Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, a full moon is rising, the witches are coming, to Wesley and Trey we go.
Welcome back to Fear in Film. Today we'll be discussing the film Hocus Pocus. After moving to Salem, teenager Max Dennison explores an abandoned house with his sister Danny and their new friend Allison.
During the film, Max accidentally frees a coven of evil witches who used to live inside the house.
Now with the help of a magical cat, the kids must steal the witch's book of spells to stop them from becoming immortal.
Jump back, twist the bones and bend the back.
Back in 1693, the people of Salem, Massachusetts, witches,
Yes?
thought they got rid of the Sanderson sisters for good.
We shall be back!
300 years later, it's Halloween Eve, and they're back.
We're home!
Are you broads a little old to be trick-or-treating?
We're talking about 3-inch hags versus the 20th century. How bad can it be?
Now they're digging up old friends and running amok, looking for the one thing they miss most.
You stay for supper.
I'm not hungry.
But we are.
Only one boy has the power to stop them
Prepare to die again!
You have no powers here, you fool!
before all Salem falls under their spell.
Hell on you!
Walt Disney Pictures presents Bette Midler,
Hello?
Sarah Jessica Parker,
Would thou dance with me?
and Kathy Najimy. Hocus Pocus.
Into the night!
They love to fly, and it shows.
Good night. Sleep tight. No screaming.
The movie Hocus Pocus was released on July 16, 1993, and the film was directed by Kenny Ortega.
Kenny Ortega directed the movie is High School Musical.
Musical 1, 2, and 3. When it comes to the witches flying in the movie, they use different techniques like wire rigs, specialized cranes, and even miniature puppets.
This creates the illusion of flight. So what did you think of the film?
I honestly loved it. So the film itself kind of just, I love the fact that it just brought in a different version of Halloween. Like it gave a different explanation to it.
Right.
And just the overall film itself just made me feel kind of like happy, joy, sad anger just from the different circumstances that they were all put through.
Yeah. I kind of have to agree with you on that, because it's like, I wouldn't really want to be that type of person to sit there and just, open up a random book of spells to unleash witches upon the world.
Alright, so who did you cheer for in the movie?
In all honesty, I was mainly cheering for the witches. The only reason why I say that is because, just have that kind of diversity. Because you're always rooting for the main characters, and sometimes you want to root for the villains. So.
Yeah, that was basically me the entire time. I wanted to root for the witches so bad, but there's a little part of me that's seen so many movies that I immediately was unfortunately, while the witches are basically the antagonists, I can't really move away from the fact that the kids are the people you want to cheer for. Maybe that's just how they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Alright, and then last but not least, what was your favorite character in the movie?
I like the cat. I mean, because he starts out as a human at first, and then he gets this curse of immortality and becomes a cat, and I was like, oh, cool. What about you?
My favorite character, even though I just ragged on him a bit, was the witches. The witches themselves, they were so different than so many of the other antagonists you usually see. They were more funny. They were just kind of dumb at times. For example, thinking the coach was the devil.
Oh, yep.
Going in, one of them trying to dance with the devil. Even though this wasn't Cuphead we're talking about. But yeah, just my favorite character in the movie was the witches.
Well, I think that's it for us. Let's head back over to Alan.
Trick or treat, costume galore. Let's hear what the students have to say about this spooky ooky day. Then let treats begin after we watch these clips from Halloween.
What's up, everybody? It's Ethan King. I'm out on the campus of Austin Peay. Halloween is right around the corner, and people have 3 things on their mind: candy, costumes, and scary movies. And I'm here to find out what their favorites are. Stay tuned.
My favorite candy would be Starburst. I like the fruit flavors.
I really like Kit Kats.
Reese's.
Probably Reese's Pieces.
Anything with chocolate or mint.
My favorite candy is probably Reese's.
Jelly. No, gummy bears. Gummy bears.
Paydays.
Ooh, Reese's, definitely.
Almond Joy. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
I like dark chocolate. Ooh, Hershey's dark chocolate.
Twix.
I'm not a big candy person, but I do like to make sweet treats out of fruit and peanut butter and honey.
To LaBrea we go.
Let's talk about some fun things to do in our area this year on Halloween. For my college students and adults, if you're looking for something to do, there will be a costume contest at the Electric Cowboy with a prize of $1,000. This starts at 8 p.m. Saturday night on October 30th, so make sure you and your friends show up in your best costumes. If you're looking for a family-friendly time, there will be a trunk or treat at the First Baptist Church from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on October 31st. There'll be inflatables, photo ops, food, and of course, plenty of candy. Since it's an event for children, please do remember no scary costumes. If you're looking to leave town and head to Nashville, there's also plenty going on there. For family and children, there will be a Halloween party and a trunk or treat at the Premier Martial Arts Bellevue from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's absolutely free to attend, and they do encourage parents to participate in the trunk or treat as well. For adults, there are many events, including the Acme Halloween Party, which includes live music, a costume contest, and a variety of spooky cocktails. Check it out at the Acme Feed and Seed, downtown Nashville, October 30th. Doors open at 6 p.m. All this talk about cocktails and candy has made me hungry. Let's take a look at our next TikTok to see some spooktacular treats for this year. Man, those treats look delicious, and I love the creativity of all of them. Halloween is arguably all about candy and sweet treats, but also creativity takes a big part of Halloween. Picking a costume, making themed treats, spooky makeup, and more. We're all pretty creative during the season. If you're looking to really show your creativity next year, you should think about participating in Inktober. So basically, Inktober is an online type of event where they give you a theme for 31 days of October, and you make a tattoo or drawing that matches that theme. It's really up to you how you want to relate to the theme, and this is where things get really interesting. If you want to go check out some of the designs, go to their official Insta at Inktober or scroll through #Inktober. That's all for today, and see you next time on Shivers, Spines, and Social Time.
'Tis very superstitious with the story that was told. Next, we listen to some stories about horrors and treats.
Hey everybody, I hope you've been enjoying the show so far. I'm your host, Ethan King. I also went out today to see what people's favorite scary movie is. Let's take a look and see what they have to say.
Favorite scary movie? Right now, it's The Ritual. I think it's a pretty good take on the whole topic.
Scream. Any of the Screams.
Scream.
I really like Scream.
Annabelle.
I think Nightmare on Elm Street.
I love Hocus Pocus or Halloween Town.
Friday the 13th.
Probably Halloween.
I'm not really a big fan of scary movies, but my favorite is Monster House because it's like kid and animation type.
How about the Jeepers Creepers? They became more funny, but like the first one was like, ooh, Jesus. I mean, like a lot of people consider Coraline scary, really, because they were kids when they watched it.
Gather around, everyone. Now it's time for me to tell a tale of a mischievous man called Rumpelstiltskin. Once upon a time, there was a miller who was poor, who had a beautiful daughter. Now, what happened was, he began a conversation with the king. And he said, "I have a daughter who can spin straw into gold." The king said to the miller, "That is an art that I really like. If your daughter is skillful, as you say, then bring her to my castle tomorrow, and I will put her to the test." When the girl was brought to him, he led her into a room that was filled with straw, giving her a spinning wheel and said, "Get to work, now spin. Spin all night, and by morning, if you have not spun it into gold, then you will die." Then he locked her in the room, and she was all alone. The poor miller's daughter sat there, and she begged for her life, not knowing what to do. She had no idea how to spin straw into gold. She became more and more afraid, and finally began to cry. Then suddenly the door opened. A little man stepped in and said, "Good evening, Mistress Miller. Why are you crying?" "Oh," answered the girl, "I'm supposed to spin straw into gold, and I don't know how to do that." The little man then said, "What will you give me if I spin it for you?" "My necklace," said the girl. The little man took the necklace and sat down, spinning the wheel. And he spun 3 times and pulled the spool so full that it then became into gold. And so when the morning, all the straw was spun into gold. At sunrise, the king came and said, "Why, what a beautiful prize you have done." But his heart became even more greedy for gold. He had the miller's daughter taken to another room and filled the straw. It was even larger than the one he ordered her first. If the girl valued her life, she would spin the straw into gold again. Once again, the door opened, and a little man appeared and said, "What would you give me if I spun the straw into gold for you again?" "The ring from my finger," answered the girl. The little man took the ring and began once again to spin the straw into gold. By morning, he had spun all the straw into glistening gold. The king was happy beyond measure when he saw the gold. But he still did not have his fill of gold. He had the miller's daughter taken to an even larger room filled with straw. and said, "Tonight you must spill this too. If you succeed, you shall become my wife." He thought, "Even if she is the only miller's daughter, I will not find a richer wife in all the world." When the girl was alone, the little man returned for a third time. He said, "What would you give me if I spun the straw this time?" "I have nothing more that I could give you," answered the girl. "Then promise me, after you are queen, your first child." Who knows what will happen, thought the miller's daughter. And now, knowing what else to do, she promised the little man what he demanded. In return, the little man once again spun the straw into gold. When in the morning the king came and found everything just as he desired, he married her, and the beautiful miller's daughter became the queen. A year later, she brought a beautiful child into the world. She thought no more about the little man, but he suddenly then appeared in the room and said, "Now give me what you have promised." The queen looked frightened and offered the little man all the wealth of the kingdom, if he can only keep the child. But the little man said, "No, something living is dearer to me than all the treasures in the world." Then the queen became lamenting and crying so much that the little man took pity on her and said, "I will give you 3 days' time. If you know my name, then you shall keep the child." The queen spent the entire night thinking of all the names she could ever think of. Then she sent a messenger into the country to inquire far and wide about other names there were. The little man returned, and the next day she said, "Is your name Casper, Melichel, Valeria?" and said in the order of all the names she knew. And each after one, the little man, "That is not my name." The second day she spent acquires into the neighborhoods as many names as she could. She recited the most usual and the most curious to the little man. "Is your name perhaps Beast of God, Muffin Cloth, Lizard String?" But he said, "That is not my name." On the third day, the messenger returned and said, I have been able to find a single new name. But when I was approaching a high mountain in the corner of the woods, there were the fox and the hare saw good night, and I saw a little house, a fire burning in the house. And out front was a little man, was jumping around the fire, hopping on one leg and calling out, "Today I'll bake, tomorrow I'll brew, then I'll fetch the queen's little child. It is good and no one knows. Rumpelstiltskin is my name." You can imagine how happy the queen was when she heard that name. Soon afterward, the little man came and said, "Now, Madam Queen, what is my name?" She first said, "Is your name Kazoots? Hoots?" The little man said no. And then the queen said, "Is your name perhaps Rumpelstiltskin?" "The devil told you. The devil told you what I said," shouted the little man. And with anger, he stomped his right foot so hard on the ground that he fell through it and off to his death. Then, with both hands around her child, the queen was happy once more. That's been all for this terrifying tale. Make sure not to take stuff from strangers. Now on to our next horrifying segment.
Hey everybody, I'm your host, Ethan King. Show's almost over. I need to go get ready for Trick or Treat trivia. But first, let's see what people had to say about their favorite Halloween costumes.
My favorite Halloween costume is probably a cat, black cat, because it was simple and just like easy to handle.
As a little kid, I loved dressing up as Super Mario.
I'm really debating on doing like the Pickle Rick thing because it's just hilarious. Like the whole show itself is really funny. I'm a Pickle Rick, I'm Pickle Rick, you know. So
Ladybug has always been my thing.
I mean, I was, like, as a toddler, I was a firefighter in my diabetes, so that was pretty fire. But I kind of want to go as Frank from Donnie Darko this year.
I went as the Scream guy once. It was like blood in the mask, which was pretty cool.
I used to hand out treats at my church, trunk or treating, and I dressed up as a vampire one year, and I had like blood all over myself. That was my favorite costume.
One year I was Jack Skellington.
This year I did get some like Crusader gear, like a real helmet and chainmail and stuff. So I'm going to be handing out candy to trick-or-treaters while wearing that.
Stephen King. Welcome to Trick or Treat Trivia. On today's show, we'll have contestants answer some spooky questions. And if they get it right, maybe they'll get a treat. And if they get it wrong, maybe they'll get a trick. Let's meet our contestants.
It's me, Mario.
Just your humble witch doctor here.
All right. Our first set of questions is about Halloween history. Question 1. In which country did Halloween originate?
How about Germany?
Africa.
Nope. The answer is Ireland. Almost. You get a free pass this time. What were jack-o'-lanterns originally carved out of before they were carved out of pumpkins?
Was it turnips?
You got it correct. The answer is turnips.
Oh, I was going to go with mushrooms.
You're on thin ice, Mario. The round orange pumpkins that are used today for most jack-o'-lanterns originate on what continent?
U.S. I don't know.
North America.
Okay.
I'll give you that one. That's on North American continent. Okay, you got to get some right next time. Our next theme is going to be scary movie lines. I'm going to read a scary movie line, and I'm going to have you guys try to guess what movie it's from. All right, our first line is, whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Hold on, wait. Where did you do not fall asleep?
Clock's ticking.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
You got it correct.
I couldn't think of the name.
Okay. Our next question is, do you want to play a game? What movie is that from?
Ooh,
that's
You got it right again. Coming back up, Mario. Okay, our final question for movie lines is, the power of Christ compels you.
The Exorcist.
Got it right. Okay, I think we're neck and neck right now. In round 3, we'll take a look at some candy slogans and try to figure out which candy they belong to. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, this is for all the marbles. Our first slogan is, taste the rainbow.
Skittles.
Both got a point. Next one, there's no wrong way to eat a...
Kit Kat?
Incorrect.
Snickers?
Nope, you can't guess twice. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. Or Reese's, I'm not sure. Our final question of the show is, hungry? Why wait? Grab a...
Snickers.
Got it. All right.
Well.
That's all we have for the Trick or Treat trivia today. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Halloween.
Well, that was a very spectacular show. I guess that's it. Is that it? Well, the Fright Night is complete. A Wicked Brew is coming, but the fun is just begun. Now, grab candy, grab everything. We had Trick with Mario, Care Bears, whatever I'm just as. Anyway, happy Halloween!